Get your concealed carry permit online in 1 hour with armamerica.org. Hey, I'm Luke from Arm America. This video is going to be about how to get your permit to carry weapons / concealed carry permit in Iowa. Go ahead and click the link below the video so that you can go to our website. We've got helpful buttons and stuff like that that'll show up as you're going through, and you won't be able to see them if you're just watching on YouTube. We're going to talk about the 3 steps to getting your permit to carry, and we're also going to go over the cost and the timeline, how long it's going to take to get it from the time that you start. I'm going to go into detail on each of the 3 steps, but first let's just go over what they are. The first and most time-consuming step is to get a certificate for completing a firearms safety course. This can be done completely online. The second step is to fill out Form WP5, which is just the application form for a permit to carry weapons. And the third and final step is to just gather a few papers and turn it all in. It's basically easy stuff like a scan of your driver's license, the Form WP5, your certificate for completing a firearms safety course, stuff like that. Now, I had always thought that getting your permit to carry weapons was a big deal. It was really difficult. You had to, go to a class that was a couple weeks or a month, or, I thought it was a really big deal, a very hard thing to get, but it turns out it's actually not. It's pretty easy. So let's get into it. We're gonna go through each of the steps in order, in detail, starting off with step 1. So step 1, firearms safety course. There are a bunch of different ways to do this, and if you've already completed a hunting safety course or something like that, you can check and see if you've gotten a certificate that just basically says that you've gone over basic firearms safety, and if you have, you might be able to use that. But assuming you're just an average person who hasn't already done something like that, your best bet is just to take an online firearms safety course. It costs like $60 and takes less than an hour to complete. I'll link to the one that I recommend taking below. It's a 40-minute video with an 11-question open note quiz at the end. You can take the whole course for free, and then you only have to pay at the end if you pass, which is nice. Also, one other nice thing is when I was doing research for myself and trying to figure out, how to go through the whole process, I was like, can I really take an online firearms safety course? Are they going to accept that? And it turns out, yeah, they're totally cool with it. But the website that I'm linking down there below even specifically says if for some reason they don't accept it, they'll send you a full refund. So that's just a nice kind of peace of mind thing. Once you've completed your firearms safety course, you're gonna immediately get emailed a certificate right after, finishing it up. And so you're gonna need to print that out and then set it aside with your papers that you're gonna turn in. And the next step, once you've done that, is to move on to filling out Form WP5. Of course, being a government form, it's gonna look crazy long and complicated, but it's actually not that hard. I'll put a link to the government form below, and you should be able to just click that and it'll open up. I may also make a separate video just explaining Form WP5 and sort of how you go through filling it out and explaining, what goes in what different boxes, just so you can feel confident when filling it out, because forms are, complicated and suck and aren't any fun. If I've already done that, you should see a pop out here, maybe a card or something popping up that you can click to watch that video, but if nothing's showing up yet, I probably haven't made the video yet. But filling out Form WP5 really isn't too hard. Essentially, it's just filling out a little bit of information and, telling them you're not a criminal, stuff like that. If you are a criminal for some reason, then this video is not for you, because that makes it complicated, and this is just for the average person who's trying to get their concealed carry permits. I'm not going through every random exception, just if you're a normal person trying to get your concealed carry permit in Iowa, this is what you should follow. All right, so now you should be able to move on to step 3, which is just sort of making sure you have all your papers together and then dropping stuff off at your sheriff's department. So you've already got your certificate for completing an online firearms safety course. Go ahead and print that out and set it aside. You got Form WP5 that I was talking about in step 2. You're gonna print that out as well and sign it. Set it aside with your papers. You're also going to want to have a copy of your driver's license. Just scan it into the computer and print it out and set that with the stack of papers. And then you're ready to head down to your local sheriff's department. But how do you figure out where your local sheriff's department is? Because that sounds complicated and scary. It's not hard at all, actually. All you have to do is just go to your favorite search engine of choice, type in whatever, county you're in, county, sheriff's department, and then search. So your county here, sheriff's department. Search, and then you're gonna see the address right there. So just go there, bring all your papers, turn everything in. Also, just a heads up, they may or may not let you bring electronics into the building, so just to be sure, leave your phone, your wireless earbuds, whatever other electronic things, just leave them in the car, bring in, and then drop off your paperwork. And just, go up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm dropping off my papers for my concealed weapons permit. Where do I drop those off? Where do I? They'll point you in the right direction. Also, the application fee in Iowa for your concealed weapons permit is $50, so just bring $50 as well so you can pay that application fee. And that's really all you need to do. Once you've gotten your certificate for completing a firearms safety course, scanning your driver's license, filled out Form WP5, and then, of course, $50 for the application fee, drive down there, drop it off, you'll be good. You should receive your permit in just a couple weeks. The commissioner has 30 days to review your application, and Iowa is a will issue state, so as long as you filled everything out properly, they have to give you your permit. Also, one really interesting, very pro Second Amendment kind of things that Iowa does is the commissioner has 30 days to review your application. And if they, for some reason, are backed up and they don't have time to review your application or something like that, then it's just approved by default. So you should be hearing back from them very soon. You're not going to get stuck waiting for months or anything like that in Iowa. However, it could take up to 30 days, and then also you have to allow time for them to mail your concealed weapons permit to you. So that's sort of like the longest it could take, but then they could also review it very quickly and mail it back to you. So within a couple weeks, you're going to have your concealed weapons permit. So what is the total cost of getting your concealed weapons permit in Iowa? It's going to be right around $110, $60 for your certificate for completing a firearm safety course, and then $50 when you go ahead and turn all the paperwork in for your application fee. So $110 total. Really not that bad, but of course that's just for the concealed weapons permit. So if you're considering your concealed weapons permit as including a gun and then some ammo to go with it, as well as the permit, stuff like that, then of course it's going to cost a little bit more. I carry a Ruger EC9S because it's a really good gun that isn't too expensive. It costs only like $200 for this gun, but it's built very, very well, and it's small and easy to carry with you. Easily fits in a pocket and doesn't look like some massive gun or something that's going to freak people out when you walk by. It's very similar to the Ruger LC9S, which is a really, really good gun. It's just that this one has sights that are made more cheaply, so, you know, it's not as good for long distance stuff, but I don't really mind the bad sights because this is a concealed carry gun. I'm not going to be, like, shooting targets from half a mile away with it. You can pick one of these up for around $180 to $250. I got mine for just under $200. Plus, look at that. Phone, gun, looks exactly the same. And as far as ammo goes, range ammo is like 20 cents-ish a bullet, and then carry ammo is more like $1 a bullet. For practicing, you want to use mostly range ammo because it's cheaper, but for carrying, you want a little bit nicer ammo in your gun. And why is it that you want to carry around nicer ammo? The reason is because you, the person that's carrying, are responsible for all of your bullets. So if there ever is a situation where you need to use your gun, say there's a bad guy coming at you for some reason and you pull out your gun and you shoot them, if you're using range ammo, it's going to go through them and the person behind them and the person behind them. And if those two people behind them are innocent, that's not good because you're responsible for hitting them because you pulled it out. Even though you stopped the bad guy, you're still responsible for any damage that is done with your gun. The good thing about using nicer ammo, hollow points, is that when you shoot them, they're a lot less likely to go through a person and then another person and another person. With a hollow point, you shoot it, it kind of mushrooms out when it hits, so the bullet gets bigger, which slows it down, so it's more likely to stop when it hits one person, and it's just gonna go bang, hit them, and hopefully sort of expand inside of them, and then if it comes out the other side, it's not going to come out with enough force to penetrate through a bunch of other people. Plus, also in that sort of expanding, it does more damage to the person that it hits, so you're doing more damage to the person that you're aiming at, and hopefully not going through them and hitting anybody behind them. So that's why you want to pay a little bit more to just have a couple nice bullets to carry around with you. You don't need to practice with them. It's good to practice with a couple and just sort of see how they feel because they might feel slightly different, but you don't need to, you know, practice with really fancy ammo. You can practice with basic, you know, range ammo just to get the feel of it, how your gun works. But then for carrying, you are going to want to have that nicer ammo just to protect yourself. Nice hollow points like you're going to want to carry come in like small packs, let's say 20. So that's going to be like $20-ish for a pack of nice rounds to carry with you. And then for range ammo, let's just say you want to get a big pack of 200 just to do some practice shooting with and sort of get a feel for the gun. So that's going to be like, you could definitely get 200 bullets for less than $50. So if that's what you're considering as your concealed carry permit, the actual permit, a gun, some ammo, and then some hollow points that you're going to want to carry around with you because you don't really want to go without that, then the total cost is actually going to be more like $380. Really not that bad when you consider all that you're getting, and you know, you're really getting the ability to protect yourself and your family whenever you need to, which is not really something you can put a price on. Also, one other thing that I want to mention, if you do happen to get a Ruger EC9S like this one, this is a great little holster for it, and it's like $20, so I'm just going to throw a link to that in the description because it works really well, and it's $20. Also, one other thing that I should mention, if you're a concealed carry permit holder, you want to carry that with you as long as you're carrying, just like when you're driving, you bring your driver's license with you. When you're carrying, you bring your concealed carry permit with you. So just bring it with you whenever you have your gun, throw it in your wallet, you'll be good. And that's really all you need to do to be able to get your concealed weapons permit in Iowa. Don't put it off, just take like an hour, knock out that firearm safety course, fill out Form WP5, and then drop off your paperwork. It takes so little time, and then you're prepared if something bad ever did happen weapon and you needed to have a firearm with you. Also, final thing, I strongly advise looking into the rules of where you're allowed to carry. You should be able to just pull up the government website and it'll have a list there of where you can carry and where you can't. The purpose of this video is to just tell you how to get your concealed weapons permit. It's not to tell you where your concealed weapons permit allows you or doesn't allow you to carry and all the weird ins and outs of that. You know, it covers most things, but there are some weird specific places that you're not allowed to conceal carry. Hope it was helpful, guys, and if it was, consider making a donation. We're totally community funded. All right, thanks for watching.